Critically appraising the literature is an important skill. This is a generalized critical appraisal framework for interventional as well as observational studies. For a study-specific appraisal, please click the link below. To critically appraise the literature, it's much easier to remember in the form of mnemonic: SAP, MR, EDR. SAP means summary, aims and population, MR is methods and results, EDR External, validity, discussion and relevance, which we will discuss in the upcoming slides. Summary, which is the first part of the mnemonic, includes the design or type of a study, topic or area, date, name of journal, author details, funding and ethical considerations, and finally, the conflict of interest. These are the things a reviewer checks when appraising the summary of a paper. A good abstract should include the design of a study. It should also include commonly used terms or keywords, and it should be a balanced summary, stating what was done and what was found. Aims. Checklist for a good introduction is to see if it mentions details about what is already known about the topic. What is missing? Is addressing the missing important and relevant? And how are we going to address it? The research question should be focused, important, and should add something new to the literature called novelty. P stands for population or setting. A reviewer should check details of locations, that could be a hospital setting, inclusion and exclusion criteria, and characteristics of participants and duration of follow-up, that is, time period. Methods. The key elements of the study design should be presented early in the paper, that comprise of type of study design and whether it is the most suitable option. Similarly, details about data collection and data sources should also be given. Next comes the sample. Explanation of how sample size is calculated and details of sampling strategy should be given. Explore whether variables are clearly defined, particularly exposure and outcome variables, also potential confounders, effect modifiers, and predictor variables. Also, validity and reliability is measured or not. Descriptions of all statistical methods to be explored, explanation of how missing data are handled, any other study-specific statistical concerns should be looked as well. When critically evaluating the main results, it is essential to exclude chance, bias, and confounding. Explore how significant p-values and how tight confidence intervals are to rule out chance. Also, evaluate type 1 and type 2 errors. Look for efforts or strategies that address sources of bias, example selection bias or measurement bias. To see how the analyst dealt with confounding, look for unadjusted and confounder-adjusted estimates and randomization. EDR. External validity or generalizability. External validity is the extent to which the results of study findings can be applied to other settings, and this needs to be explored. Discussion is that part of the paper which is enjoyed by most of the readers. It should follow logical sequence. First, main findings and how these main findings relate to the existing literature. Whether the researcher has also mentioned additional findings and discussed the strengths and limitations of the study. Future directions are also important to look, and finally, conclusion has to be impactful. And finally, relevance, that includes applicability and reproducibility. How things can be put into practice. In terms of cost, staff, sustainability, and other resources, they're all important factors to look when critically appraising a literature. If you value my hard work, please like and subscribe to Research Ram. Thank you for stopping by.